And welcome everybody to the Infernal Brotherhood of the Scruffy Looking Nerf Herders. This is a live YouTube Star Wars video podcast by Star Wars fans for Star Wars fans. And today we're returning with our episodic review of the Book of Boba Fett with Chapter 2, the Tribes of Tatooine. So goddamn good.
There's so much in this that I want to talk about. So buckle in, everyone. We're gonna go on a ride. How you doing, William? Thanks for joining live, man. Initial thoughts. What were your initial thoughts of this?
Holy sheep shit. This was fucking great. Like, especially the whole training montage. Like, I mean, that's like old West style shit. Like, trying to teach them how to be good little Indians. It was so fucking awesome.
Yeah. Literally.
God, so good. So goddamn good. And it's funny. So I'd seen a lot of people talking shit on the first episode, like, oh, it was okay, but it sucked. And then this apparently made up for it. I love the first episode, but this just continued with it. So yeah, I was happy.
Yeah, my initial thoughts are going to be, just echoing the same. It was just building upon building of just cool shit happening, and to a point where I was just, I was ready to explode.
Yeah,
I was ready to explode. Hey, Aaron, thanks for joining live, hon. It's good to see you. Hope everything's okay. Okay, so this is directed by Steph Green. It was written by Jon Favreau, released, of course, this past Wednesday, January 5th, 2022 on Disney+. Do you want to walk through a recap?
Yep, let me get to my notes. I don't know why I even look up the fucking notes. I just got done watching it. Anyway, so it starts up with Fennec Shand taking the assassin back to the palace, and that shit's hilarious. So he's all stoic and like, fuck you, I'm an assassin.
Yeah, I'm
not saying shit. So, of course, Boba, Fennec Shand, and Laszlo from What We Do in the Shadows are talking about him. And he's like, I'm not fucking saying shit, homie. I'm a fucking assassin. So they're like, oh, well, clearly, no human can change his mind. Yeah. Maybe a Rancor can. It's so fucking funny. Drops in, immediately realizes he shit himself, and of course they open it. They find out it was the mayor supposedly that sent the assassin.
Well, hold on really quick. Were you bummed that there wasn't a Rancor?
No, I knew there wasn't a Rancor.
I mean, we know because we saw him die, but there's no reason why they couldn't have sourced a new one.
Her name was Roxy Adam.
I'm sorry. God. Why Roxy died, but like they could have sourced another one, right?
I don't think Bib Fortuna would have. He seemed like a lazy fuck.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, that would have been awesome had there been another Rancor. Because I mean, fuck, that's one of the coolest animals there is. But yeah, I kind of figured it was empty.
Okay. There was this much of me going, oh, please let them have gotten a new one. Oh, please.
Oh, I was hoping there would be one. I didn't think there would be, though.
Right. Oh, I'm sorry. I interrupted. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's, of course, wacky and funny because he spills the beans. Then the only thing that comes out is a little rat. So, at that point, they grab the assassin and decide they're going to go pay the mayor a visit, which was hilarious, of course.
Are you okay with that dude in that hair? Whoa, he was like a mullet
fucking
or something.
Mullet? Oh my god, that dude was so fucking out of place. I mean, it worked.
I don't know. I don't know if it did.
It was so asinine and so out of place that it just made sense in a fucking hive of villainy. Like,
the only way it could have been more over the top is if he was doing one of these numbers and then like, you're not on the list, sir. Because as it is, he was almost doing that.
Pretty much.
It was just the worst French maitre d' Hessian. It took me out of it. Like that is the one thing that just broke this whole episode. I had to like sort of get back into it with the next scene. And then every time I see that Twi'lek, the major domo of the mayor, right? He's always like, it's so wonderful to see you. Blah. Everything's like up and flourishing, and I just want to punch him in his face.
Yeah, I think that's the point, though. That kind of seems like that's the point of the character.
Yeah.
Right. And the mayor, holy shit, that was fucking cool.
That was awesome.
Like, I mean, I will always be happy seeing Authorians. Like, they're such a dope species.
4
especially,
throats.
Yeah,
Just
so goddamn cool. Well,
and then, what did you think of the voice apparatus too? Like the translator device on his head?
Yeah, that's great. I mean,
It was wonderful.
So that's something that we've seen in, I want to say, like comics and stuff. So I mean,
Oh,
it's
really?
nothing new. So it was cool to see,
Mhm.
instead of having like a translator who actually spoke for himself.
Right.
So yeah, I dug that.
I love that you got his dialect and then the translation, and it just like in Solo, a Star Wars story, we had that worm thing at the very beginning, and she had this like creepy voice, Solo. It was really weird, and it just took me. If they just did like some weird like alien voice, then with subtitles, I would have bought it so much more. But to have that crazy weird high pitched voice ruined it.
Well, and especially because I mean, Han Solo spoke like a bunch of fucking languages because he was a fucking hood rat. Like that's what he had to do. He was a hustler. He had to learn the languages.
Yeah.
So it would have just made sense.
That shit. Solo, my boy. Shut up. Another person I want to punch in the face.
At least you got hit in the face, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's something. That's something. The mayor was dope, though. Oh, gosh. For someone who... He's just a mayor. Like, what... Mayor is a weird position because it's a position that gives you enough authority to feel like you could sort of take advantage of people, but in the scheme of things, they're nothing. Like, they don't have any power at all.
Well, I mean, especially in this context.
Yeah, in Mos Espa, you're isolated. You're just this... Actually, it was a lot bigger visually than I expected it to be.
The same.
But I don't know. I always think I've met mayors in my life, and every one of them puts on this pomp and circumstance. They put on airs about their role as mayor of X town. It's like, no, you need to look at it like this. You're the mayor.
You're the head of the city council. Homie. Take it down a notch.
Yeah, simmer down, son. All right, well, that's what I thought.
But this motherfucker had some gravitas.
Yeah,
definitely. Like, and it wasn't like forced. Like, it seemed like he was just straight up comfortable. Like, oh no, I'm totally in control of the situation.
Oh yeah.
Down to having like the assassin assassinated. So good.
Who does he think he's kidding? Like, how do they think? They must have done work on this assassin to get him to flip. And so with that reputation and the mayor's just playing off, well, it wasn't me, it was the Hutts. Like, really? You don't think you think he's going to trust you? Like, they had to throw him down a Rancor pit to get him to tell the truth.
To even say anything.
Yeah.
Like, dude was accepting his fate. Like, he put his head down to chop his head off. He's like, oh, whatever, fuck it, I got caught.
Sometimes I start to think Boba Fett, I think even Fennec Shand gets frustrated with it. Like, he's just willing to sort of just go with the flow. He's like, all right, well, let's just move on. Let's, like, no, let's torture some motherfuckers. Let's not trust the mayor at all. Let's maybe, I don't know, give him another throat. Like, just cut another hole. I don't know. Sometimes I think he's a little too forgiving.
That's what it seems like.
Yeah.
He's trying to be a good guy as a bad guy. Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, so then he goes to the this is like a pinball machine too. He's like, okay, well, let's go to the mayor. The mayor sends him over to the casino. The casino's like, we don't know what you're talking about. And then we hear the drums.
Yeah, that was good.
Holy shit. What did you
that
think?
Was great.
Did you know what they were talking about when they said twins?
I mean, I kind of figured it
Before
was,
you saw him?
he was talking about the twins.
Yeah.
So I kind of figured that's what it was. But I mean, yeah, as soon as you hear the drum beats, like, okay, that's probably going to be a HUD on a platform.
Dude, and it's two of them. And the guys holding it, you could see them like,
well, and it's even bowed too. That was great.
It's so good, man. Oh, there it is on the screen.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so good. I loved seeing those two. Once they came around the corner, and then they started speaking, and it was just like Huddies, Oh, god damn it. These people get this show right.
I know I was just talking to my wife about that before we started this. Like, just pure frustration. It's like, they do so fucking good with this. Why can't they do that with the books and the movies?
Yeah. Just everything right.
So awful. Although we did get somebody from the books, so, well, I guess
from the comics
/ books.
Yeah.
Like the Wookiee bounty hunter they had with him, I thought it was a callback to Shadow of the Empire. I didn't realize
really?
that was the Wookiee from Dr. Aphra.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I love that. You know, in the comics, Boba Fett had already met him. They actually had worked together with Dr. Africa, setting up the whole thing, I think. But so his call out saying, you know, it's not a gladiator pit. You know, if I wanted to fight him or something, I'd go to a gladiator pit. Calling back to his origins of how he got so tough. That was a great little inside baseball for people who are really into comics and stuff. But for everyone else, it's just this, you know, obviously he looks like a gladiator, so maybe that's what he meant, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it can go any level of depth that you want to as a fan to really uncover this. But seeing that Wookiee, holy shit. I mean, we got some kind of pathetic looking Wookiees that were slaves in the mines of Kessel with Solo. So they weren't impressive looking. In episode 2, I think, we got some Wookiees that were like warriors and they looked great when that assault on Kashyyyk. Well, I can't remember which episode now. Episode 2 or 3.
2 and 3.
Okay. But this guy was like next level. He just had that. And it wasn't like, I'm just going to put on a costume of a gladiator. Like, it felt lived. It felt like he embodied that character. I don't know and he didn't even say anything.
No, he barely even moved. He just kind of stood there and like raised one eyebrow, like, "What's up, fucker?"
It's like, I dare you, make a move.
Yeah.
I'm not a Sarlacc. You ain't getting out of this. I'm taking you down. I'm gonna eat you. Oh, that was so good. That Wookiee was just badass looking. It was just like a 1-2 punch. We got 2 Hutts that looked amazing and had this really great sort of back and forth between the two, and then, you know, talking to Boba, and then we saw the damn Wookiee, and it was beautiful. And Fennec Shan's just ready to unleash if she has to.
Awesome. Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but there's something about this damn series that is just blowing my mind every week.
Well, especially with this one, because at this point they're going back to the palace and he's going into the Bacta, and that's the end of their episode. Now it's all flashback. And really with the flashback, there's so little dialogue. Like, I didn't realize how little there was until the second viewing, and it's like, God damn it, this is some good storytelling.
Yeah. Well, before we go back, were you okay with the way that the Hutts totally backed off? We'll deal with this later.
Yeah, it made sense. I mean, they're trying to scare him out without actually having to do anything. And one thing I did want to make note of, I really do like how they brought the rules out of Legends, or now Legends.
Oh yeah, you need permission.
You can't kill a fucking Hutt.
Just like a Dawn, man.
Yeah,
just like
and
a Dawn.
It's just like those little bitty things. It's like thank you. That makes up for the fact that there's a male Hutt and a female Hutt, because that's not how Hutt anatomy works, or at least it wasn't. Unless
they
it's
like transition, right?
Well, so with the Hutts, at least in Legends, and I think Clone Wars kind of changed it, or Rebels or whatever, the one with the Zappy or Zappa, whatever the fuck. But like, they were only female when they decided they wanted to have a kid. The rest of the time they were male. So it's like, are they changing that? Is it a choice? I don't know.
So, or maybe they're brothers earlier and later, and now they're just boy and girl twins.
Yeah,
they're slugs. Hey, who fucking knows? It's Star Wars. You're in space.
Who cares? See them have sex.
Yeah, unfortunately. Hey, owner, I don't know how to say your name. Thanks for joining live. Hey, what's up, Dan Lane? Good to see you. All right, so that whole training montage, and then seeing that bullet train fly by, and then seeing the pikes shooting out of the window, it just blew me away. Like, I can't believe they're adding another element to this criminal syndicate. The Pikes, that's a huge family. We're getting into like Italian mobster territory full on, with all these different tribes, all these different criminal syndicates working in tandem at the same place. This is going to be like a big blowout at the end, I think.
I fucking hope so. I'm going to be really disappointed if it's not.
Yeah. Okay, so we got this really great scene of Boba Fett convincing the Sand People leader that he is going to go stop the train, and they're like, no, never going to happen. So he's like, look, give me a rifle, give me a gaff stick, I'll be back in the morning.
Yeah.
And they trust him enough to do it, which is, to their credit. But then he just walks in like season 2 Mandalorian and just kicks some biker ass.
Yeah. That was great.
Dope as hell. So I guess those 2 people that were in the bar were somehow connected with some other show or something. Like they weren't just randos.
They weren't?
No, they're like the guy and the girl. They have some other Star Wars connection that someone was talking about that I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, that's news to me.
But kind of cool. I always feel bad for the barkeep. Like this is his place. This is his shop. And you just come in and bust it. You can't beat them up without breaking my window. Like what's happening?
I mean, to be fair, if you set up shop on a hut-owned world that's outside of hut space,
right,
you kind of have to expect that shit. Like he's probably got really good insurance because he didn't really intervene. He just kind of was like, shit, it's happening again.
Yeah. So I just thought that was great.
I love the exit too. He doesn't even say shit, just walks up, grabs a drink, slaps down. Okay, well, I'm fucking off with my stick.
Okay, so what was better? Him telling them go forward, go back, or like Bantha, huh? It's like, I can imagine Captain Spaulding doing something like that, where he's like, yeah, huh? I was like, is he saying they're fucking the Bantha?
I didn't catch that, but that's funny.
Oh my gosh, the whole time I was watching, I was like, oh my gosh, what is he saying? Like, I know what he's saying, but
yeah.
There's some subtext there, I think, that maybe.
That's funny.
I don't know. And then, his teeth, he's got these perfect Da Vinci veneers that's just out of place. Like, it's the cleanest teeth I've ever seen in my life. Just dirty him up for the scene or something, because every time he smiles, it's like, takes me out of it. It's too clean, man.
It's the Sarlacc pit. That's like a happy accident.
It's the bleaching agent.
It just completely bleaches them.
The Sarlacc intestine juice. It's the best Crest wipe strip you'll ever get.
It really
it's made
is.
with pure Sarlacc digestive juices. Fucking weird. And then we got, let's see. So then he brings the bikes back. He teaches them. We have that. There's a whole bunch of little like small jokes thrown in this whole sequence, which I actually really appreciate. I mean, it would be easy to take it down a straight and narrow and just like be hardcore about it. But every once in a while, you get a little playfulness. Like, in the early training, I can't remember if it was this episode or the last one, where the War Master that was teaching him how to fight with the stick smacked him on his face. He was just like, oh, getting all pissed off. But then this one, he's like, who's going to be first? And the guy gets on and he goes backwards the whole time. It's just sort of like little slapstick stuff like that. And the whole training montage of trying to jump from one bike to the other. Just like, you don't need it, but I like it. Why not keep it?
Well, and it would have been very different if it would have been played straight.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been like, oh, cool, we're getting another Rocky montage. How exciting. But the fact that the one guy keeps falling off the back of the bike, just great. Especially once he lands, he's like there.
And then he falls. Yeah. It's so dumb. It's so stupid. But I dig it. Them assaulting the bullet train or whatever it's called, that was awesome.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I love seeing, and especially that stupid little droid, a little bit more comic relief. You're like looking out and getting all freaked out and stuff, and then you're like trying to prime the engine to go faster, and then just abandon ship once they get to the front. And then to see that weapon master, I don't know what to call him, just the training sand person. I don't know.
Let's call it Cabal.
Cabal just goes straight into the train with his speeder bike, and the whole time, like, climb in the windows. Why are you guys climbing on the top? It makes no sense to do that when you have open windows everywhere. And then that's what the dude does. He just fucking nose dives in there, and then you just see motherfuckers dropping.
Yeah. And then the random head pops up. And then
down, and
then
so
up,
good.
And then down.
And that was part of the sort of comedic fun of it too, is he was playing to the crowd. That's sort of what you do. I loved that whole sequence. It was a lot of fun. And then we get to see him actually be accepted into the tribe. and with the gift of the lizard.
Yeah, that fucking lizard, man. I want to do that lizard.
I want to do lizards so bad. I gotta know what lizard brain is like.
Right.
I mean, once it like jumped, he like blew the dust and it went after the dust, the spice into his nose. I was like, oh, I know what this is. I know what this is.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Just immediately.
Kind of figured that's where it was going anyways, because it was very solemn, very sacred feeling, like as soon as they closed the tent up. And it's just so funny. Oh, cool. Thanks for the gift.
What do I think I swallowed your lizard. And then the drugs kick in. And he's just like tripping balls, which was just really great for anyone who's ever been on those trips before. It was fair. It was a fair representation of the weird craziness. Yeah. I always like seeing different people's versions of it. You know, it's a lot of fun for me.
Still gotta say, probably one of the best is Midsummer.
Oh yeah,
like
sure.
That's
like hands down the best. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, that's exactly what it's like.
Yep.
It was fun.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I love that scene where he's sitting at the dinner table, that whole feast table at the end, and he's like staring at his girlfriend at the very end, and the flowers are like breathing, and then that douchebag next to him, he's like, why did you do that? You can see the vibrations of the air and stuff. It was so good. And so, yeah, this William says trim nose hairs before using. That's what the lizard does. As he claws his way through, he's like, nom, 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 nom. Yeah, it's super awesome. We saw that wicked ass tree with the Jawa eyes all over it. He's getting these flashbacks of the Sarlacc with the tree grabbing him, which was just all these really great little moments of him, like things that he still needs to process. And then coming back with that badass stick. And just like, oh yeah, you're gonna carve that thing. Oh yeah.
Oh, and that's it. And that was a realistic representation of somebody coming down off of hallucinogens, just walking through the sand with a stick. Like, I don't know what happened.
We've all been there. I don't even know how I got this thing. it's very important to me. That's all I know.
So good.
My stick. So funny. Yeah, what did you think about that carving sequence when he's like making the stick?
Just fucking great, and that's the thing. Like it is I think the reason why he's able to blend so well with them is how much of a warrior culture they are. It's very Mandalorian. Like that's almost their religion, is their weapons. Like that's a sacred right to build that thing. So yeah, that was dope as hell. Just makes me want to build a war club.
Like, yeah,
I really need to make one of these days.
Do you think so? We skipped over the part where he brokered a bit of a price.
Oh yeah,
for the
shit.
Pikes
How did we forget that?
to come through.
Yeah.
Do you think the Pikes are gonna like respect that, or do you think they're gonna come back with force and he's gonna have to be called upon to defend?
Well, I hope that's what happens, but because I mean we don't really know how much of a time difference there is between the flashbacks and current time.
Right.
So maybe they've already started coming back through. Maybe they're just building forces and biding their time for it. But yeah, I do really hope that comes to a head. Like they come back like, fuck you, don't tell us what to do.
It's the Pikes Syndicate. Like everyone's afraid of the Pikes. They're insane. I mean, they faced off against the Empire. I mean, they're just tough. So yeah, if they just back down and like, all right, we'll give the Tusken Raiders or a cut of our spice deal. Like, no, you have to fight for your territory and continually fight to keep it. The world building that they added with the tribes of the Dune Sea, and they're reclaiming their ancestral lands. Are they leaning a little too heavy into native peoples, or do you think it's just right for where we are in Tatooine?
No, I mean, it makes perfect sense. And like, especially with his story, that's his whole thing. Like, even when he was discussing with the twins, like, it's reclamation of, property. For them, it's obviously ancestral lands. For him, it's a right because of, killing the other, syndicate boss.
Yeah. Do you think, and I asked you this right after we finished watching the episode, but do you think they're going to come up later in the series, where they're going to come fight with Boba Fett against the different crime syndicates.
Yeah, and I really think that's like they're going to be the big bads of the season. I mean, it would make sense. Because I mean, if you even have like a slight idea of how the whole Hutt cartel shit works, like they don't fuck around at all. Like you shit on them, they're going to destroy you and everything else around you. So, like I think that's what it's going to end up happening in the end.
Some of the rumors that I've been hearing about this series, I'm a little concerned that they're going to try to progress the multiverse of this TV Star Wars connections between the Mandalorian and what they're going to do with Rosario Dawson's Ahsoka series and stuff. And it's going to dwarf, ultimately, a sort of localized planet crime series. This is going to feel tiny once they bring in outside stuff. That's my concern anyway.
I don't know. The stories stand up on their own, and I mean that's how it is. Like even with like the books, you would get things that felt so massive because I mean it affects the entire galaxy. Yeah. But really it doesn't. So you get little skirmishes here that are a book or two long, but really like all these people up on the other side of the core or whatever, they don't care. Yeah. So I don't necessarily see it affecting it that much, if at all, to be honest.
Okay. Well, it's a fear of mine. What was your favorite moment of this?
Definitely the dance at the end. Like that was just fucking awesome.
So great.
Like that, that's what I hope for Man Camp.
Oh yeah.
Like that just seems like where it should be. Like we're sitting there, desert, it's fucking pitch black. We got a fire and weapons and we just dance.
Yeah, for people who don't know, we do this sort of man camp every year where it's just a bunch of friends and we go do something. And this year we're going to Skinwalker Ranch. Skinwalker.
That'll be next year.
Yeah.
That's man camp.
We're just going to invade George Lucas's ranch. We're going to Skinwalker Ranch. And so, the end of the season, this episode, we have this really great warrior dance around a bonfire, which it felt organic, it felt purposeful, it felt powerful. It was just a really great ending.
Oh yeah.
God damn, it was so good. We're definitely gonna be doing that.
And I mean, and that was his final bit of his transformation. Like now he is one of them. Mm-hmm. He is a 100% equal.
Yeah. My favorite has to be the Hutts and that Wookie. Mm-hmm. Seeing those together, I was just like, and that's. I was obsessed with the drug scene. I thought that was really cool and awesome, and I loved the warrior. Like them dressing him in his warrior garb was powerful, man. It was so good. But just for pure fandom side of it, like little kid Adam in my head, it's seeing anything like Jabba the Hutt again, just like got me so excited, like unnecessarily excited. And then seeing that badass Wookiee, it was just and like. Boba Fett's reputation doesn't seem to precede it at all.
No, not at all.
Like no one seems to remember who this guy was. Like and the people that he hung out with and the like why he was feared. Like I don't understand why people are just being assholes to him. They should be afraid.
They might have known how he got dropped in the Sarlacc pit. I mean, that'll fucking ruin a reputation.
Boba Fett.
Biggest
Boba Fett.
Bounty hunter got fucking smacked and he fell. Ooh, well, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
So I
when you distill it like that. Yeah, okay, I can see that then. No, like you're putting on airs. You're trying to be the mayor now, Boba. You're not the mayor. You worked for a Hutt. You're not a Hutt. Least favorite moment. What do you think?
Really can't think of anything. Like it's just, I love these shows. They're so damn good. Like I really can't think of something I didn't like about this.
Mullet Man was mine.
Yeah, that didn't bother me though. Like again, if it was anywhere else, if it was a core world or even like inner rim, then I'd be like, why the fuck is this guy looking like he's from Trailer Park? But it's Outer Rim. It's like a stone's throw away from Wild Space. So I get it. Whatever. He can look like an asshole.
What do you hope for next episode?
God, just to keep the momentum. Like it's the first episode was fun. It was great. It built the story. It gave us an idea of what we're gonna get. With this, it really expanded on his backstory. You know, from the end of Return to where he is now. Yeah. So I just hope they keep continuing with that. I mean, I don't know where else it would go other than like if that's how we see more of the Pike Syndicate is, you know, now that he's a Tusken and they're fucking going back and forth. And then that ultimately leads to, you know, the Mandalorian era. But I want to see more of that. Because that's what I really feel like we're lacking with Star Wars is a backstory from anything. Because it all got wiped, and then they're like, "Oh, we'll fill it in," but they haven't.
It was like a 5-year gap between when he fell in the Sarlacc and then he came out and reclaimed his armor. So that's definitely time for the Pikes to come back and him to defend their territory. Yeah. And then in his head, he's like, "Okay, if I'm going to keep doing this, I need to get my armor back." And then he, hunts down the Jawas that stole it and then traces it all back to Cobb Vanth. So I think that would be a great time filler of him defending the Sand People's territory and then moving on. But do you want more backstory than what we have already? Or if they didn't go back to it at all, would you be okay with it?
Oh, yeah, I'd be okay with it. Because the thing is, like, it seems like even the fillery episodes that we got of like the Mandalorian, they really weren't filler episodes. Yeah. Like there was still a lot of substance to it that drove the narrative. So if they don't ever return to it, that's fine. I'm not going to be that bummed. I mean, I would like to see, especially knowing that there was a 5-year gap, because the whole timeline shit's so buggy in my head right now anyways. Like I could see it, like if they do go back, it would be him dealing with the Pikes, or maybe even another syndicate trying to run. Right. But if they don't, it's fine.
Because do you need to see him walking up on Fennec Shand, and then helping her?
I mean, that'd be cool, but we already saw that.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the feet and stuff, but I'm trying to figure out how much more they're going to develop, or are they just going to let's say, okay, well, you can pretty much just fill in the gap in your head. Let's continue the modern day story.
Well, if anything, I would imagine it'd be like quick flashbacks, just like with all the shit from Attack of the Clones and the Phantom Menace and shit, like the flashbacks to Kamino and stuff. They don't need to draw that out. They can use just little bits, and we understand what they're trying to take from that and put it into this. So,
yeah. I kind of hope I'm kind of done with the extent, because that backstory, though it was awesome, it was the majority of the episode, and so now I feel like we are in a place where we don't need to spend that much time back in the past anymore. Like I want to know what the Hutts are going to do next. I want to know if he's going to have to fight that Wookiee. I want to know if he's going to get the Tusken Raiders to help him battle different crime syndicates. I want to see from here on him becoming a crime lord and keeping his seat.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of, we only have 5 episodes left.
Yeah.
So we've got to start getting into it. And not to mention, there's still stuff that was in the teaser trailers that we haven't seen yet. Like that girl with the black short cropped hair coming up on the speeder bike. She's supposed to be like a fallen Jedi or something.
Fucking A.
Like in the Legends, she there's rumor that she's one of the people who used to be a Jedi, turned to the dark side, and then she sort of just went to a life of crime or something like that. So, where does that fit in with everything now? Is she gonna come and try to work for Boba? Is she gonna, try to carve off another slice from him? Or there's just so much up in the air. And then what about the owner of the casino? She seems like she's kind of running her own thing. Clearly in her little casino, but I don't know. She seems like she has a little bit more power and more of a story arc coming because we keep going back to her. Yeah.
Yeah, she's like the bar owner in any mafia movie. Yeah. That's where they hang out, but she has more power than they realize that they give her.
Yeah. That's the girl from Flashdance, right?
I know this now.
Like, she is in her 60s. She looks gorgeous.
Fucking good for her.
Like, gorgeous. And she's in her 60s. I just can't believe it.
Throw some Leku on someone, and I mean, that usually fixes shit up.
I'm getting some Leku for me. I need to fix up this mess.
I got some up in the closet, man. Come over with these photos. Get weird. Let's do this.
Let's get some lizards and get weird.
Man Camp 2022.
Oh boy. All right. Well, on that note, I think I don't know. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about?
No, we got it.
I'm loving what's happening with this season.
Yeah.
With this show, it's so good, and I'm so excited because the next thing we're gonna get is gonna be Obi-Wan, I think.
And yeah, Obi-Wan is supposed to be next.
And then it's gonna be Andor, and then it's gonna be Mandalorian again. And it's going to be Ahsoka. I mean, we've got so much great stuff in the pipeline. I'm so excited.
Yeah, definitely.
It's going to be dope. All right. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in live.
Well, actually, I do have one other thing to talk about, Adam.
Okay.
How about our store?
Oh, yeah. Swag.
Wear shit like what Adam's wearing.
All right. So if you guys want to pick up shirts, they're available. It's a couple different designs, distressed logos, just the icon. We have a really cool looking matte black one. So it's just sort of subdued and it looks badass. For those of you who know where we come from, you kind of get a different tone of what the Infernal Brotherhood means. But really, it's literally the skull of a Nerf. It just happens to look like other things.
Yeah.
But it's dope. The designs are great. They're a lot of fun. We're hoping the printing for by Design by Humans is the company that we went through. We hope that stands up. Let us know if anyone picks anything up and they're not happy with it, because we can always, make some situations. We can change things up if we need.
We can fucking yell at them for you, goddammit.
Yeah, I'll write a stern letter. Send it post haste.
Yes.
All right. Well, that's it. Is there anything else?
No, that's it. We're good.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We appreciate your time and attention. We're going to do these every single week. There's an episode. So next Monday, we're going to be reviewing this Wednesday's episode. And that's how it's going to go until we all die of old age or disease.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for tuning in. Hope to see you next time. Till then, may the force be with you.
Ichuta. Love that.
What did you just call me?